Hey, what's up, guys? So we're on a brand new roof. It's actually not brand new. It's about a week old. We had took a little extra time to get a skylight thanks to our friends in the brown truck and stuff. So anyway, yeah, the roof's been sprayed, and things have been crazy in the shop, to say the least. There's actually a gaming truck in the booth right now that Joe's prepping to get the roof sprayed. We did a whole great big rebuild on it. The big slide for Jordan's camper, I got it painted, but there's a little area that I ran out of paint on, so we're working on that. We're really close on Jordan's camper. We got to get some of this got to get it done right now work out of here. We met a new guy. He's in a new rig. It's 23 that he just got. It's got a roof job that just got approved. There's an older Class C out front with a roof job waiting on us, and there's 3 more that aren't here yet. I told him to hang on a second, we're getting full. So needless to say, things are getting nuts, and I love it, and I appreciate all the support for you guys that are watching. One of the guys that is waiting in line here to have his roof done, it was fun chatting with him. He's got a very similar background to me. I've been in the automotive industry. My dad was a mechanic. Everybody that watches this knows that this shop is actually named after my dad's shop that he started before I was born. But I grew up in a shop doing all kinds of different stuff. I've been in construction. There's a ton of buildings on Georgetown Road that we were talking about. Back when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was doing construction, and we built a bunch of the commercial buildings on Georgetown Road here in town. So there's a lot of overlapping experiences. And once you've worked with this stuff long enough, whether you're working on a porch or a gable end of a roof or a camper roof or a barn roof or whatever, it's all construction. So that's some of the background with me personally. The guys are constantly training on stuff. They've actually got a training class that they're going to go to tomorrow. I think it's like an 8-hour class that they're going to on Saturday just to improve their skills. So we're all constantly learning. We've got a new tech that's going to start anytime. I just got to get some stuff situated with him and some of the stuff that's going on. But anyway, the guy that I was talking to has a very similar background as me. Started in diesel mechanics, switched over and he said he's built, I think, 2,500 homes. And one of the comments he made was one of the best compliments that I've got since we started this construction. And he said that he was terrified to call because he really, really wanted this roof system that we've put together, but he knew it was going to be twice as expensive. So before anybody worries about any of the cost of anything, if you call the shop, I'm going to give you a roundabout number. Until we open it up, we obviously don't know what's going on inside, and then we take each one of those steps. But all of our roof systems are very competitively priced to what any good quality TPO, EPDM, or even the guys that are spraying polyurea. Some of the guys that are spraying polyurea are getting down and dirty with their numbers, and frankly, if they want to get to the point where it just doesn't make good business sense to spray something, I've got to take care of my job here when I'm on a roof like this is to take care of the customer. This is his roof and our name's on it, and I've got to make sure at the end of the day, even if the guys miss something just on accident or whatever, at the end of the day, it's on me. So I've got to take care of the customer. I've got to take care of all of my employees here at the shop. I've got to take care of the shop as a whole, and then obviously I've got my wife and family and everybody at home that I've got to take care of. So there's a lot of responsibility here. I do need to make a profit. This is a for-profit corporation, and we're here to do that. However, Stacy and I are campers, and we're here to take care of our customers as well. So what I always try to do is balance between doing a good job, giving a good product, covering the cost of everything that's going on in this shop, and staying competitive. But I'm probably not going to be the cheapest. If I am, if I'm the cheapest, I probably missed something, but we're still going to honor the price. If I'm the most expensive, maybe I missed something and let's talk about it. If I'm right in the middle, you know, maybe on the higher end of the middle or towards the top end, I'm okay with that, because what we're giving, in my opinion, is the best product that I know of. Honestly, if there was a better way to do this, I'd be doing it. So that's my goal in this, is to put out the absolute best product. So if the question is, how much is this going to cost? If you want to call up your local TPO roofing installer, you know, an RV company that's going to put on a membrane roof, you know, his quote was something in the $10,000 range. I was a little less than that, not much. So I'm right there. So that covers the cost. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of this thing. I put some pictures out on Facebook, and the first thing that somebody commented on was, there's a seam down the middle. Oh my God, you ruined the structure. The structure underneath this roof is exactly the same. This roof it got blown off, the fiberglass tore, opened the sub panels up, and did not get any water damage. That was the best thing to it. So all we had to do was lay a 3mm skin over the top of this. We glued it down with our 3M 5010 polyurethane glue. We glued everything down, so this is adhered to the structure underneath. We overlap the joints. We always overlap the joints because polyurea does not like that. It'll bend, it'll flex, it'll twist, it won't crush, but if you shear it like this, it'll tear. So we're overlapping the joints. Somebody commented, he said it looks like you met 4 joints, and I don't know where it was, but we're never overlapping 3 layers. If something looks like it's overlapped 3 layers, it's the way the picture angle was taken. But anyway, the first sheet got laid down, the second sheet got laid, and it's laying right over the top of it. Then there's a seam right here. There's a seam up in where that roof bin is, just in front of the fridge. And then there's a seam right where Noah is with the tripod. All of the curbing is in. I'm going to have Noah take some close-ups of what we do with that. The skylight detail is almost finished. So what we do with the skylight is we run our seam sealer underneath on top of the curb. We set the skylight down. We use a big fender washer, and then we've actually got screws with rubber washers on them so that the rubber contacts the fender washer. And then the last step is we actually add a little bit of seam sealer on top of the fender washer and the rubber, just to protect the rubber and keep it from getting hard or cracking over time. So if that skylight needs to be replaced, it's no problem. You unzip the screws, you pop the skylight off, you clean the seam sealer up with mineral spirits, you put a new bead of seam sealer down, put the new skylight in, and you're done. Same thing with a roof vent. We've got 2 powered vents, a manual vent. That's the way this rig was built. Same thing with the pipe vents. The pipe vents are up on curbs, and then they seam seal in, and then the same thing with the fridge vents. So these curbs are something that we do. It's very important to us. It's important to me because water doesn't run uphill, and you'll notice when Noah takes the pictures of the details of all of these different pieces, we don't make a dam with any of our sealant. So if you go up on your roof and you look at this roof vent on your rig, if you've got a TPO roof, the TPO's coming up to it, the roof vent's setting here, and then there's this big old glob of Dicor that's going all the way around the vent. The problem is that Dicor, say it's 1/4 of an inch thick, as it's raining, the rain is dripping down and it's trapping rain inside of the Dicor, between the vent and the Dicor. In the wintertime, especially around, the cold climates, in the wintertime, that water can hang out. It can seep in just far enough. Even if it seeps in a little bit and it starts to freeze, it'll frost, it'll lift the Dicor up just a little bit. And over time, it just, glaciers moved millions and millions of tons of rocks and everything else. So it's just not that hard for a little bit of ice to move some Dicor. So what we do in everything that we do is we bring any of the roof penetrations up off the roof so that any water that comes down on here will run off. We don't create any dams with any of our sealant, and all of our primary sealant is underneath the fixture so it's not getting blasted with ultraviolet. And then, like I said, we put the metal screws down, or the screws down with the rubber washers, and then we coat just a little bit of seam sealer around that just to keep the rubber in good shape over time. Those rubber washers will break down with ultraviolet, so we keep that from happening. But this is our roof structure. It's pretty straightforward. There's just a ton of details that go into this thing. This is what it looks like. If you've got questions, shoot us a message, give us a call or anything like that. Hit the subscribe button, follows, and all those kinds of things. I think, know if I missed anything, but that pretty well covers it. This one's pretty straightforward. It was pretty basic, and there wasn't a lot of complications. This next one that's coming in has a couple of different pitches. It's a big roof too. So we'll get some video of that, and I'll show you that. And it is for Cleveland. I'm looking forward. So this is Ron's roof. Cleveland is a retired Army brat, and he's got enough stories that we could set and talk. He's local here. Ron lives a couple hours north, so I'm looking forward to having Cleveland come in after we're all done with this. We'll get him on video. He's quite a character, but we're looking forward to that roof. And yeah, I think that's it for now. We're going to jump off this thing and get the next one prepped up and get on for now. So thanks for watching. Later, guys.